Yeah, I'm here doing what you're probably doing, and that's eating way too much food and watching some football on New Year's Day. But this is the time of the year when we often make New Year's resolutions. So I want to give you the opportunity to make one New Year's resolution that you will be so happy you made, and that is reading through the Bible in a year. Did you know that if you just spend about 15 minutes a day, that you can read through the entire Bible in a year? That's all it takes. Not very much. The hardest thing for us, of course, is to get started and then keep going once we got started. So, having done this many times myself, I thought maybe I could just give you a few tips that could be helpful to you. First of all, I would suggest that you find a Bible that doesn't have a lot of notes in it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love study Bibles, but study Bibles with a lot of notes can be very distracting, and you can find yourself getting lost. So I would read a Bible for just reading through in a year. I'd find a Bible that doesn't have a lot of notes in it so you don't get distracted. I also would maybe find a different version than what you're used to. Have you found that sometimes when you read a Bible that you've read a lot, that you can get to a verse and say, oh yeah, I know that. But when you get to a different version, all of a sudden it comes alive to you. And there definitely are some versions that are a little easier to read than others. Of course, the most important thing is to read systematically. You don't want to do the dip and skip method. You know what the dip and skip method is. You get down to the end of the day and you say, oh my goodness, I haven't read. I'll just open the Bible and I'll do some reading so I can say I read today. Now, you want to have a systematic plan for reading through the Bible, and there are so many good ones. I have some ideas for you that might be helpful. Why don't you come on down to my office and I will show you some plans that I have used in the past, plus some new stuff that has just come out within the last year. Come on down. Okay, here I am down in my office, and you might say, well, boy, why do I need anything fancy? Why not just pick up the Bible and start from the beginning and go all the way through? Well, that is one reading plan, and that might be the plan that is right for you. I got to confess, personally, about every time I get to the book of Numbers, I kind of struggle through the Old Testament. A lot of the things that I want to read, of course, are the more exciting parts of the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. So I find that a plan that kind of gives me a different slice of the Bible multiple times throughout the week are very helpful to me. One thing that you might want to consider is just going to the bookstore and buying a 1-year Bible. It's really snazzy. It's easy to use. When you open up the Bible, instead of it being aligned by the books, it's aligned by date. So you just pick up the Bible and turn to today's date, and you get a reading from the Old Testament, a reading from the New Testament, as well as a psalm. But it's an excellent way of reading through and doesn't cost very much. Now, another thing that you can do is, if you find getting a new habit started is a problem, maybe you already have a habit that is started, and if you could just dovetail this Bible reading habit along with one you've already got, it would work really well for you. For example, I know some of you exercise regularly throughout the week. Well, what if you simply took an audio version of the Bible and listened to it while you did something else? There are some great audio Bibles available out there. Let me suggest, if you don't know where to start, go to listenersbible.com. Max McLean is an excellent reader of the Bible, and I think you'd find it to be something that would be very helpful to you. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you. It's over on my computer, so come on over and we'll take a look. Now, it's not my intention to make this difficult at all, but some of you are into the high-tech gadgetry, and why not use what you got to help you with where you want to be? And in case of Bible reading, there's lots of things online that can be helpful to you. One of the sites that is really old-fashioned is a site called BiblePlan.org. They offer 13 different Bible reading plans, and honestly, when you bring up the site, it's going to look like something out of the 1990s. And the reason I like this particular place is because they do one thing that a lot of other places don't do, and that is we'll send you an email of whatever your plan is. So if you sit down and you say, well, I want to read out of the NIV, and I want to do the whole Bible in a year and choose that plan, they will send to your email address exactly that day's portion every single day. And hey, if you're used to getting an email anyway, all you got to do is read your emails, and throughout the course of the year, you will have read through the Bible in a year. And then one other new place that has just come out within the last year that is really fantastic is YouVersion.com. YouVersion.com. If you go on there, you'll find 20 different ways of reading through the Bible in 2010. You just pick your plan out of the 20 different possibilities and personalize it. Now, the cool thing is that if you also happen to have a mobile phone like an iPhone or a BlackBerry or one of the new Droids that's come out by Verizon over the course of the last year, the YouVersion site will synchronize whatever you have read online with your phone. You don't even have to have it sent to you. It just automatically keeps you up to date with wherever your reading plan is. Obviously, there are a lot of different ways that you can read your Bible over the course of this next year. The real question is, are you going to do it? One last piece of advice. Find somebody else to do it with. You know, accountability goes a long way. And it's fun to have a partner. Well, thanks for listening, and have a happy new year.